The forest always felt like a refuge, a place where I could clear my head. But tonight, something felt off. The trees, usually alive with the sound of rustling leaves and chirping insects, were unnervingly silent. Only my footsteps echoed along the narrow dirt path. I wasn't supposed to be out this late, but I'd lost track of time. The sun had dipped below the horizon, leaving me with only the faint glow of the moon to light my way. As I walked, the shadows between the trees seemed to stretch and shift unnaturally, almost like they were watching me. I told myself it was just my imagination. Then I heard it, a faint crunching sound behind me. I froze, straining my ears. It came again, closer this time, like someone stepping on dried leaves. Slowly I turned, but the path behind me was empty. My breath caught in my throat. I laughed nervously, chalking it up to paranoia, and started walking faster. But the sound followed. It wasn't an echo. The steps were deliberate, heavier, mismatched with my own. I didn't dare look back again. My heart pounded as I broke into a jog, the crunching now quickening to match my pace. A cold breeze swept through the trees, carrying with it a faint whisper. My name. It was so soft I almost didn't hear it. "No," I whispered to myself, "just keep moving." I tried to convince myself it was the wind, but deep down I knew better. Someone or something was out here with me. The trail forked ahead and I turned sharply to the right, hoping to lose whatever was following me. But as I veered onto the new path, the crunching footsteps stopped. Relief washed over me, but only for a moment. That's when I noticed the forest had grown darker. The moonlight no longer pierced the canopy above. The air felt heavy, thick, as if the forest itself was trying to suffocate me. My breathing grew shallow, and every instinct screamed at me to leave, to run. But my legs wouldn't move. I was frozen in place. Then I saw it. A figure emerged from the shadows ahead of me. At first it looked human, but something was horribly wrong. Its limbs were too long, its movements jerky, unnatural. Its face was a pale blur, like a smudged painting, with hollow pits where eyes should have been. It didn't walk toward me. It glided, almost as if it weren't touching the ground. My body screamed to turn, to flee, but I couldn't. All I could do was stare as it raised one impossibly long arm and pointed directly at me. And then it smiled. Its grin stretched far too wide, revealing rows of jagged, uneven teeth. A low, guttural sound escaped its mouth. Laughter, but warped and distorted, like a recording played backward. Something snapped in me and I bolted, running blindly through the dark. Branches clawed at my skin. Roots threatened to trip me, but I didn't care. I just ran, desperate to escape. The laughter grew louder, closer, until it felt like it was inside my head. Suddenly, I burst out of the forest and onto the road. My lungs burned and I collapsed onto the asphalt, gasping for air. The forest was silent again, the moonlight shining brightly as if nothing had happened. I looked back, half expecting to see that thing standing at the edge of the trees. But there was nothing, just darkness. I never went back to the forest after that night, but sometimes when I'm alone in my house, I hear faint laughter coming from the woods. And I swear it's getting closer,